National Association of Government Employees. We're here to testify on Bill 1003, an act relative to agency fees. This bill, in summary, deals with the fact that there's a pending case in your Supreme Court over having non-UN employees in state government pay fees, have equal protection as if they were collective bargaining UN employees. As you may know, government employees are not subject to ERISA, so we're not protected under the same federal laws regarding equal treatment as employees in the same system. So President Holway will elaborate more on that matter, but it's an issue of equity and insurance that all employees are given equal protection at a non-management level.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Chan. Mr. Holway, if you could use the microphone so we make sure everyone can hear you.
Usually I'm loud enough that everybody hears me.
Actually, bring it closer to you as well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman, member of the committee. For the record, my name is David Holway, not Holloway, by the way, and I'm the president of the National Association of Government Employees. I come before you today to ask for your support of House Bill 1003, an act relative to membership in employee organizations. Representative Chan has filed our bill on behalf of NAGE as a placeholder legislative vehicle meant to solve a problem that we anticipate will be created when the U.S. Supreme Court rules on a case titled Janus versus AFSCME. Under current law, public sector employees whose positions are covered by a collective bargaining agreement are not required to belong to a union and pay union dues. In Massachusetts and many other states, employees who opt not to belong to the union representing their bargaining unit must pay what is called an agency service fee. Agency service fees are slightly lower than dues and are collected by the union to pay for operational expenses related to collective bargaining enforcement of the collective bargaining agreement. Agency service fees were originally considered by the U.S. Supreme Court in 1977 in a case titled Abood versus Detroit Board of Education. The court ruled that because every member of the bargaining unit was benefiting from the contract, that every member of the unit, even those who opted not to be members of the union, could be required to contribute to the cost of representation. Last month, during its long conference, the Supreme Court accepted cert on the Janus versus AFSCME case, which challenges the constitutionality of agency service fees under the First Amendment. Although the agency service fee issue has been precedent for 4 decades, we anticipate that the current court will rule against public sector unions, essentially dismantling the agency fee structure and making the entire public sector in the United States right to work. Although NAGE has very few agency fee payers across Massachusetts, we anticipate that the national right to work activists and groups will campaign to destroy the public sector unions in Massachusetts and around the country, further weakening the middle class. If the Supreme Court overturns the bill and rules agency service fees unconstitutional, which we anticipate that they will, employees will no longer have to pay dues, but the union will still be obligated to represent them, essentially creating a system of free riders, where the union will still be legally required to represent members and non-members without the resources to do it. This is simply unfair. If a member chooses to leave the unit, they should no longer benefit from the contract. Under House Bill 1003, members who choose to leave the union would no longer enjoy the union protections and benefits of the collective bargaining agreement, and the union would have no legal obligation to represent them. They would be treated as management or confidential employees are currently treated. This is the only fair solution. We expect oral arguments on the Janus case to occur sometime in January, with a ruling to come as early as March of next year, or as late as June 30th. Please understand that NAGE is not seeking passage of this bill until the Supreme Court rules on Janus. Until the court overturns Abood, we do not want to change the current agency fee law in any way. Again, Representative Chan filed House Bill 1003, and NAGE's request is a placeholder to serve as the legislative solution to the action we anticipate by the Supreme Court. NAGE has been working proactively to educate each member of the legislature on the history of agency service fees and the large-scale threat that Janus poses to the economic viability of public sector unions around this country. And again, although we are not asking for passage today, we are asking for passage very quickly once Abood is overturned, which is why we request that this committee report favorably on this bill so that we'll be positioned well to work with you and your colleagues to fix the inequity that Janus will create. within the tight legislative timeline prior to the end of this session. Massachusetts has always been a leader in protecting the rights and benefits of workers. Janus versus AFSCME is just the latest example of the national right to work movement attempting to destroy the working and middle classes. The Janus case and the right-wing groups that are supporting it are seeking to destroy the important voice of public sector labor. House 1003 will help us weather this storm and preserve that voice on a playing field that has become more and more lopsided every day. We cannot let this happen. We need your leadership and support to help us remain a vital, strong voice for working families. In the name of fairness, I ask that your favorable report of House Bill 1003 as soon as possible, and thank you very much.